Yo YouTube, what's going on? It's HIGHMMA, and today we are here to discuss UFC 305. That's right, today we are discussing Israel Adesanya versus DRICUS du Plessis. Now boys, before I get into today's video, I just want to speak a little bit about Lucas Tracy. Bro just retired from MMA YouTube. That's kind of crazy. He was one of the first MMA YouTubers I watched. He gave me a lot of inspiration to start, so I just wanted to say I hope everything's cool with whatever he goes on to do. But enough of the sentimental shit. Let's get straight into my predictions and my takes. Because first up, we are talking about Walter Walker versus Junior Taffa. Now this fight is very interesting because it's actually two prospects in the heavyweight division. That's something you don't usually see. It's not a division that's usually very prospect rich. Now Walter Walker is 1-0. 0-1, I mean, in the UFC. Not a good look. I think he lost to Lucas Brzezinski in his first fight, if I'm not wrong. He's a heavy wrestler. He was undefeated coming into the UFC, which, you know, you can't really rule out the fact that he could win. He was undefeated until he got here, but I think I am going to lean towards his opponent, Junior Taffa. Now, he lost in his last fight at UFC 298. I watched that live. He got absolutely demolished with leg kicks. It was a pretty bad fight for him, but it was on short notice. It was actually meant to be Justin Taffa versus De Lima, but unfortunately, I'm pretty sure Justin took an injury or something, so it couldn't happen. Now, I think this is Junior Taffa's time to really prove himself. He doesn't want that last loss to linger. He doesn't want to take another loss because people will start counting him out. I think he is a real prospect that we have on our hands here. His brother is really good. I think he could be just as good as his brother, if not better. So in this fight, I'm going to be backing him. I think this is going to be a decision win for Junior Taffa. Now, this isn't one of the more interesting fights on the card, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it. I've got Junior Taffa winning. I think he's going to be able to stuff some of the takedowns. I think he's going to be able to do some damage. He's got a pretty heavy punch on him, and I think he is going to get a decision win. Let's keep moving up the card, though. Next up, we are talking about Tai Tuivasa versus Biggie Boy. This is a big boy matchup, man. Another heavyweight matchup. One I am super excited for. Now, man, this is a day of fucking reckoning for Tai Tuivasa. If he does not get his shit together, this is his last chance. I'm pretty sure it's a 4-fight losing streak he's on. It could be a 3-fight one. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I've not looked at Tapology yet, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Bro, but listen, this dude he's running it on the line. I remember watching him on the come up when he was hitting shoeies, when he was emoting on motherfuckers, and I was thinking, shit, there was a point in time where we thought that this guy might be fighting John Jones for the heavyweight belt, bro. That is miles away from us now. But I think that if he is really locked in this training camp, he could finish Biggie Boy. I know he can do it, but we just have to see if he's willing to actually put the work in. And, you know, Biggie Boy is one of them guys where he's looking good recently. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. He could just beat the shit out of Tai Tuivasa, and we couldn't even be surprised about it because of the losing streak. But Biggie Boy's getting on in age. Tai Tuivasa is still kind of young. Now, I know that doesn't really make much of a difference in the heavyweight division. It's more a power-heavy division. I just really want to see Tai get it done, man. And even though it's a bit of a stupid move, I'm going to pick him. I'm going to pick him by round 2 finish. I think he can really fuck it. If he's really locked in, he can use those heavy hands and get Biggie Boy in a place that he doesn't want to be and potentially get the finish. That's what I'm hoping for. So that's what I'm going to pick. I've got Tai Tuivasa winning, but there is a path of victory for both of these fighters in this fight, and that is something you cannot ignore. Biggie Boy is an amazing fighter, a great kickboxer. I'm a big fan of his. I don't really want to see either of these guys lose because I am fans of them both, but I do really want Tai to win because I do think that Dana White is going to cut his ass if he loses again, and we know the skill of Biggie Boy. We don't even need to mention it, and there's a reason they call him Biggie Boy, because he also packs a heavy ass punch. Now, obviously, both of them are kind of not where they used to be in the rankings, both kind of behind. But after this win, depending on who wins, they could make steps back towards the belt. Not necessarily a title shot, but higher in the rankings. Not too much more I can say. I got my big boy Tai Tuivasa winning. I want to see that happy little fat motherfucker hit a shoey after the fight. Let's fucking go. But let's keep moving up the card, because next up, we are talking about Dan Hooker versus Gamrot. We've got a psychopathic motherfucker versus a boring motherfucker. I think we all know who I want to win. It's the psychopath motherfucker. It's motherfucking Dan Hooker, bro. I love Dan Hooker, but the thing is every, like, elite fighter he's fought, he's lost to. Dustin Poirier, motherfucking Islam Makhachev. And don't forget, Dustin Poirier beat this man to death. They just brought fucking Hooker back to life backstage. Dustin Poirier killed him. Now, don't get me wrong, Dan Hooker did good in some parts of that fight. That doesn't change the fact that he got murdered by Dustin Poirier. He's also lost to the likes of Michael Chandler, Edson Barboza, and Arnold Allen. You know, they're all those guys that are just above his level and, you know, that are just beyond Dan Hooker. But he has wins that are very respectable as well. He's got a win over Gilbert Burns, surprisingly. He's got a win over Jalen Turner, and he's also got a win over, he's still got the win over Paul Felder, but Paul Felder doesn't fight anymore. These are respectable wins. Dan Hooker is a very respectable fighter, riding a 2-fight win streak, if I'm not wrong. But you have to remember, he's fighting the fluke god, Mateusz Gamrot. Let's speak a little bit about this motherfucker. Now, Gamrot has some great names on his resume. He's got wins over Arman Sarukian, Rafael Dos Anjos, Rafael Fiziev, Jalen Turner, but his 2 losses are really fucking weird, man. He's lost to fucking Beneil Dariush, who I'm pretty sure I could take in a fight right now. I'm not going to say that. And he's also lost to Graham Kutaledze, of all people. Now, I'm pretty sure people call the Kutaledze loss a robbery, but on paper it's a loss, so I'm saying it's a fucking loss, man. I don't care. I don't fucking like Gamrot. It's a loss. But I do have this weird feeling, and it originated in my balls, and it kind of worked its way up through my stomach into my heart, where it gained some sentimentality, and then it made its way to my brain, and now I have this kind of fairy tale idea where Dan Hooker's going to find some TKO in the last round, and it's going to be really, you know, I don't even know what the fucking word is, man. I'm too high for this shit. I think it's like fucking, you know, it's a super happy moment. Everyone's great. It's like, oh my god, Dan Hooker got a great win. But I think it is just, you know, it's not going to happen. I do think Gamer Nation Gamrot, and heavy on the gay at the start of Gamer Boys, because this guy just loves nut hugging. I think he's going to nut hug Hooker into a decision victory. I don't think it's going to be a split decision or anything. I reckon it'll be unanimous. I think it'll be very clear cut. I've got Mateusz Gamrot winning, man. Nothing more to be said about this lightweight matchup. Let's keep moving up the card, motherfuckers, because next we are talking about Steve Erceg, Astro Boy, kind of zesty name, I've always said it, but I fucking love this guy, versus Kai Kara, the bitch France, the pipsqueak. This motherfucker's a bum in the flyweight division, right? He's lost to Pantoja, Moreno twice, Royval, Albazi. He hasn't really beaten anyone that's that good. He's got a win over Cody Garbrandt, great, but Cody Garbrandt was never that good, if we're being realistic, and that was Cody at flyweight. I hate to be so mean, man. I don't like being mean to the fighters, but Kai Kara France is just a bum. He's a bum, and, you know, there's a motherfucker beeping outside my house, which is kind of annoying. But motherfucking Steve Erceg is a sick kickboxer, and he has good wrestling. Wherever this fight goes, Steve Erceg can hold his own, especially on the feet. I think Steve Erceg is going to school Kai Kara France on the feet. I think he's going to show him what that Australian Astro Boy power is made out of. I think he's going to take a fucking piece out of Kai Kara France and eat it in front of him, bro. I've got Steve Erceg by a dominant win. I think he could possibly get a late TKO, but I'm leaning towards a decision. We saw the KO against Matt Schnell. We know this guy can knock motherfuckers out. I will be very happy if he does. I want to see this guy getting a title shot again very soon. It is an insult how low they've put him in the rankings, and this fight will prove why he is why he should be a top 5 contender right now. I'll be very confident with this pick, boys. I am picking Steve Erceg. Now we are moving on to the main event. It is Israel Adesanya versus Dricus du Plessis, one of the most anticipated fights in the UFC as of right now. And honestly, it has been a pain in the motherfucking arse trying to decide who I think is going to win this fight. And I know in past videos I was very confident in saying that I thought Israel Adesanya was going to win. But, boys, I'm not even going to fucking lie to you. I'm picking Dricus. I'm actually picking Dricus. I think Dricus is going to beat Israel Adesanya by decision. I think he's going to mix up the wrestling. I think he's going to be a bit too Shrek-like and aggressive for Izzy to deal with. I think he's going to use those big awkward strikes the sloppy wrestling. I think he's just going to kind of smother Izzy. I don't know if Izzy's going to be precise and sharp enough to find that knockout that he is looking for, because I really don't think he's going to be able to win by decision. Now, similar to the Biggie Boy and Taito Iwaza fight, this is a very winnable fight for both of them. Israel Adesanya can catch DRICUS and knock him the fuck out if he finds that shot. We just don't know if he will. We've not seen him knock anyone out since he knocked out Pereira. Now, I know that wasn't too long ago, but he couldn't knock out Sean Strickland, and we've seen Sean Strickland get knocked the fuck out before. So, and considering the fact he's getting on in age, we have to consider, does he still have the knockout power? Now, if he does manage to find the win, it will be a monumental moment, and I will be super happy for him, because Israel Adesanya is a fighter I've looked up to a lot since I was younger. I've watched most of his fights live just because of how massive of a UFC star he has been during me growing up. Sorry for stuttering there. But I just don't know if he's got it anymore. Not against the likes of DRICUS. I think DRICUS is so underrated. And I think this is a fight where he might be able to prove himself even more than he already has. He's got wins over Robert Whittaker, Sean Strickland, Darren Till. These are pretty good fucking fighters, man. Like, Robert Whittaker, literally third greatest middleweight of all time, just smoked it. Kramaliskarov is about to fight Hamzat Chimaev, I should say. And I think he will lose that fight. But regardless, an amazing fighter in his own right. And I think leading into this fight, something you've got to ask yourself when you're making your pick is, do you see another dominant title reign left in Israel Adesanya? Look at who he would have to fight. You've got DRICUS, which obviously he's about to fight. You've got Sean Strickland there, Hamzat Chimaev. You've got Kamaru Usman if he stays in middleweight. There's some killers in middleweight right now, bro. These are people that Israel Adesanya is not going to be able to take on. Just one after the other after the other. I think he's too old for it, man. I think DRICUS isn't. DRICUS has only just turned 30. You have to remember, this guy is bang on in his prime. I think this is a fight where he's going to prove himself. And we've seen a lot of upsets recently. I think there's going to be another one. And it is going to be DRICUS du Plessis beating Israel Adesanya. I keep fucking stuttering on it. But bet on him, bro. Bet on DRICUS. Nothing more I can say, boys. Thank you all for watching this video. Motherfucking, I might go live during the fights and do a little face reveal for you people. I'm not necessarily hiding my face. It's just not in the logo or anything. But just check on your YouTubes during the event. You might see a little High MMA live stream. You never know. But you know what I'm going to say? You don't have to like. You don't have to subscribe. Do what the fuck you want, man. Have a good night, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.